everybody. It's not quite 2 p.m. yet. We are 2 minutes to 2 p.m. So once you hop on here, feel free to share something that you are grateful for. We're looking to get the vibes and the energy up. Today we are doing some readings. We are doing some energy clearings, etc. So if you've been watching the last couple of days, you're seeing that there are some themes that we're working on as we ask questions and do some answers. So for people that don't know me, my name's Robin. Again, if this is your first time watching, thanks so much for subscribing. So I am an energy healer, reader, and intuitive. And so what I've done before I came on here, I already let some people know that I would be hopping on at this time, as when I do lives, I would enjoy some participation. I've already called in Reiki energy. I'm already tapping into the Akashic records. I've already set the intention that the things that I've connected to beforehand are related to the people that are watching now or later. And a lot of stuff's been coming up, as our topic today is about tension and stress relief. So aside from sharing what you're grateful for, I would invite you to think about how you deal with stress. And the key thing here is we want to work on helping you when you're in this space, remove any stress that you're already feeling, hence why I offer guidance, but also just ways that you can learn new tools, right? So by other people sharing what they do, maybe that's going to help somebody else, okay? So aside from that, let's get started. I have my sound bowl here. The first thing that came up for me when I was connecting to the energy of the group is that sometimes we need a bit of noise to clear our energy automatically, to bring us into the now, as we discussed yesterday. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do. That feels nice. So vibration, the energy of sound can be really, really great just to move anything that's a little sticky. And what came up for me with the group, if people aren't asking for readings or cards or healing or anything like that, is there's a lot of energy going on the left side of the body. And the left side is the heart. So the reason why we want to clear and release tension and stress is because it helps us in general with our heart health. It also helps us improve our relationships, the ones that we have with others and the ones that we have with ourselves. And that's extremely important for people who are very emotional and people who are sensitive, empaths, etc. So the other thing that I have here is my crystal ball. Okay. And what was coming up before I came on here is, and now I'm getting really warm. So whoever just jumped on might be feeling like they're letting go of a lot of energy, even just by being present here, which is great because you will receive that just by being present, is really tapping into the intuition. When we're working on getting out of our head, getting out of our day-to-day stress, it's really, really important that you're listening. So aside from listening to your body, what your physical needs are, that's basic nutrition, things like that, it's the intuition is always guiding us. And so if we can tap in to what our intuition is telling us, our intuition is there to help us, not to hurt us. And even our ego, when our ego presents itself, when we hear negative thoughts and negative feelings, that's also there to protect us. So really, it is a win-win that we have these unique differences in our mind and in our physical bodies as well. And it depends on where your emotional health is. This will distinguish whether I should go left or I should go right. Should I follow my logical? Should I follow my heart? And underneath my playlist, I do have other talks and I do speak about this on a deeper level. But where I was feeling it on the left side, that's telling me that we're really struggling with anything that's bothering us heart-wise, okay? And just remind yourself that even if you put your hand up to your heart right now and take a few deep breaths, just remind yourself that you're here on earth to have compassion. And if you think about somebody else who needs some compassion right now, just think about that person. You don't have to think about why they need compassion. You can if you want to. It's okay to play here as you breathe. But think about that person, whether they've hurt you, whether you love them, or both. Just see yourself giving freely with open arms. Whether it's you're looking for emotional balance with this person, just send them some love. Again, without expectations. And just notice how that feels to take time out of your day to focus on somebody else. And notice how the energy changes. For me, the energy just kind of like lowered for me in terms of like it felt like the felt like evening all of a sudden. And I really, really like evening. The evening's a very peaceful time for me. So for me, when I went into that space, that's how I felt. Feel free to share anything emotional that came up for you. So if you would like to clear it, we can. Otherwise, as I was discussing the energy of the crystal ball, this is about opening up to intuition and our senses. So the way that I do it, just for my own like stress relief, if I were to work on myself, since nobody's asking for a question or anything like that, I'm assuming that the comments are working. I'm not seeing anything. I would still like want to go deep into something specific. So whenever you're working on tension or stress, it's good to pick out specific things that you'd like to work on instead of doing too much general, because you're more likely to feel like you're accomplishing something. Okay, I feel like I want to slow down and take a sip myself. So just as a group in general right now, would you like to let go of any shame, guilt, or toxic energy that you might have in your energy field currently? Anything that's holding you back from living the ideal life that you're hoping for yourself in this current present time? And if so, say yes. So just write down yes and breathe. And what comes up here is people are working on gratitude and appreciation, as we've been discussing in relationships and give and take. That's been coming up a lot lately. But what comes up is maybe sometimes there's a reason why we don't want to put forward. Maybe there's a reason why we don't want to share, that sort of thing. So even if you could ask yourself right now, and again, feel free to comment, what comes up for you is, why do you hold yourself back from giving? Why do you hold yourself back from doing gratitude practices? Is that I don't have enough time? People have hurt me? I'll give you a minute there. But for me, what comes up is the reason why sometimes I hold myself back from giving is because I feel like, we can go deep with this, but I feel like in a past life, it's just what's coming to me. I feel like I didn't have a lot of opportunity, and that makes me feel really emotional right away, because it feels like, because maybe I feel like people didn't offer me opportunities when I tried. When I wanted something, people weren't willing to give it to me. And I feel like as a result, it stopped me from even trying anymore, or for even putting in the effort, or even asking for opportunity, right? So let me know if that relates to you. Do you have a hard time asking for opportunities, like asking for the raise, asking for more public recognition, asking for people to share your videos, asking for people to pay you on time if you have your own business? I don't think that's too much to ask, but these are things that have come up for me. So aside from this being a past life issue, it's also like current life issues, because often when things are coming up from the past, they're still related to the now. And that's why it's super important to work on these things. So would you like to let go of all of these things that I just said, if there's anything related to you? And right now, in this very moment, let's replace that with whatever you'd like to attract. So visualize that ideal situation of these healthy relationships, these healthy opportunities, these healthy financial exchanges with others, or whatever success is to you. Okay, let's do that right now. We're going to see it and then we're going to manifest it. So would you like to attract these healthy visions that you have for yourself with no limitations? And if so, say yes. Okay. And then what comes up, because the way I do theta healing, that's what this is I always see like the layers with it, right? Because when we're working on tension and stress, there are always layers. And I'm getting this like bombarding sensation that there's an energy here where, and it's really strong excuses. And it's kind of taken over because one area of what I was feeling is sometimes yesterday we discussed too much, being too optimistic, and feel free to watch that video and say yes to those downloads. But sometimes we can get too future based, and what ends up happening is it's like our mind gets cluttered with stuff that we have to do. And sometimes we lose touch with, like our passions and things like that. So really, really, really just think about your own life. And again, you can share where you feel blocked, or are you not taking enough time? Since the energy of time keeps coming up here, okay? But also, would you like to let go of times in your life where you felt like overwhelmed and stressed? And if so, say yes. All right, another energy that's coming up is sometimes when we connect to our spiritual, as I said, the ego can come in and, saying my connection's not working great. It's Mercury retrograde, so hopefully you guys can hear me. That happened yesterday. I was getting cut off, and then it completely cut me off, even though I still continued. So we'll see what happens today. Either way, when you watch the replay, just say yes to the things that you would like to say yes to, that you would like to allow to enter your life. So yeah, I don't even know what I was saying there. We're discussing I think like overwhelm and stress. So anyway, I'm getting confused if you guys can hear me. So even could you just let me know if you can hear me okay? Okay, we're talking about ego. That's what's coming up. And sometimes when we connect into our spirituality, we'll get a lot of ego energy. So just remind yourselves to just like slow down a bit more, okay? And pay close attention to where energy is coming from, because sometimes it's past, sometimes it's future, and we can get really confused. Logic versus heart, okay? I would watch the playlist that I have already under like head versus heart, that sort of thing, okay? If you're hopping on, could you please let me know if you can hear me okay? Maybe I'll just move over a bit, even though our lighting kind of sucks. It's saying that it's trying to connect. So I'm assuming that you guys can't hear me, even though I have a bunch of cards here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off and I'm going to come back on. Thanks for watching, guys. Oh, it is working. Okay, thank you. All right. Thanks. Really appreciate it. Okay. It's really difficult if this is happening and people aren't communicating, but this is Mercury retrograde. This is what happens. Okay, so let's get into the cards. If people don't want any specifically, we'll connect it to tantrum release and the things that we've been discussing, okay? The Hanged Man. This is telling me that it's time to start focusing on education, okay? So as I was just saying, learning more about this stuff, right? Like, what is the ego? Maybe I pulled out the sound bowl and you're like, what the heck is that? Maybe it's looking up the sound bowl. That might cost money. Again, you might have to purchase things. I also sell products. So the products that I have today are Amethyst Citrus Positivity. So there's, it's a roller with citrus essential oil and another carrier oil, which is really good for your skin. I do healing on my products, and then I write you a little letter indicating recommendations of how to use this based on your energy, which is really cool. I go into your Akashic records, I do Reiki, and I do a little reading on it. I also have, for 17, I have a rose quartz necklace, and we were already discussing a lot about heart chakra and relationships, so there's no coincidence that that's our theme for our group. We have justice. This is also talking a lot about our give and takes at this moment. When we have stress and tension, sometimes it's because our relationships are out of balance. Maybe we're feeling like something's not fair and we're getting upset about it. So it's our job to kind of work through what's bothering us, as I was saying, discuss it with other people. We have the Hermit, angel of reflection. Absolutely. This is telling us that we have to take time to soul search, figure out who we are, why we're here. And often that means being alone and not doing it with other people. It's okay to like learn from a coach or get healing, like with someone like me. Go on to robinshealing.com and book with me. But this is saying, and I'm also going to be doing an online retreat July 3rd and 4th, and I'm so excited about that. I'm just working on the current plans right now. But this is saying like we also have to do we have to do more work when we're by ourselves. When we get together, say like once a week, when we do some healing and coaching, then throughout the week, you implement, you integrate, just like when you're coming on here, okay? So make sure you're taking that time to work through things, to notice things. And our theme here is very much work related, putting forward and getting back. When things feel like they're everywhere, and we don't know where things are and we don't know how things are going to happen, it's super important to not like panic. It's super important to tune into the intuition and as I've been sharing, allow that to guide you. So although I have more cards, my tea leaves pulled up, since people aren't responding coming on here, I'm going to leave it there. Rose quartz little stones are $350. That's feels like it wants to be on my chest right now. So again, might be someone watching later that's having some tension in their chest. You might want to work with rose quartz and do some journaling as well to go inward. If you also do any type of healing or readings yourself, now is a great time to really, I think, tap in more to your own intuitive abilities, because the more we can use the gifts and the passions that we have constantly, the easier I feel like life becomes, because we're so excited to do the things that we're doing. We're not like dragging our butts around to do basic things. We're getting lit up by what we're doing. I said I wasn't going to read this, but energy is telling me to, since there might be someone later that needs this. Determination, 9 of Wands. This is really talking about strength and determination. It's telling me that when there's really something that you want, even if you are a bit stressed, there are healthy stressors out there. So just because you might be having a difficult time, it is important to persevere through difficult times as well. So not to get like caught up in it, but to trust that it might be there to show you how badly you want something, right? Because yesterday I was also sharing that we're going through major change and major transition as a society, so you are not alone, okay? But if you're judging yourself, especially where we've been discussing self-esteem and confidence, if you feel like people are against you, not for you, you're feeling really discouraged, that can make it worse. So as I was saying, help other people when we're going through difficult times, because chances are you could be helping in a very small way and you just don't know it. For instance, where I'm like, okay, people aren't communicating with me on here, people probably must not care, and then really and then I'm kind of like, we'll just not worry about it, when now the energy is telling me, no, this does make a difference. You are helping somebody. There is somebody out there that is desiring this. Again, to trust. Okay, so when we go into tea leaves, what comes up in relation to the group with our topic, etc., what's coming up is don't take on other people's emotions. Tomorrow that's going to be a topic as well. Someone's requesting how to kind of like work on that, so that'll be a deeper conversation. So maybe somebody needed to hear that tomorrow, if you're not connecting to today's video, if you are an empath, please tune in tomorrow at 2 p.m. I was doing this as a new thing to see how it was going over with the time, with participation, that sort of thing. Um, so next week, I'll see what I feel called to, etc. But if you are on my Facebook or Instagram, definitely comment when I say, like, ask questions like what topics would you like to see, and respond if you're able to, so that I can tailor some of this stuff to you guys. Okay, and definitely comment as well under this video. And I will speak with all of you soon. Bye for now.